Today we are going to present you our topic, which concerns the creation of a new business around social networks.
Great. Professor Julie, would you like me and your classmates to give you comments while you are talking, or do you want us to be quiet until you're finished talking?
I prefer to present all the presentation now.
So, okay, we will be quiet until the end. Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Our presentation will first focus on the abstract, then we will give a short introduction on social networks. We will show you the titles of the Scopus document we used for our research, as well as the research methodology and method, and finally talk about the results and the conclusion. This study aims to reveal the case of creating business using social medias in some different ways. We show that social networks have a huge impact on youngsters and their habits of consuming. They must understand digital business's aim and get awareness. Dropshipping isn't the only way to have a business around social media. And people have also developed business around their TikTok, Instagram account. And in this study, we show the new ways of consuming that are impacting social networks and their users. We will conduct our research in 3 parts. First part, making money with social networks. Second part, making money from social networks. And the third part, COVID-19, new ways of consuming.
Okay, so we're going to start with the literature review. So that's the background literature. We have divided the 3 parts that Jolie just said, and each part you can see right there the articles that we have chosen. So for the first part, we have chosen 2 articles. For the second part, also 2 articles, and for the third part, we also have chosen 3 articles. Just to be precise, these are not the only articles we have found. These are a part of the articles. You can find all the articles in a folder on Google Drive. So let's talk about making money with social media. We have decided to say with and from, because that's a huge difference on making money and social media. And let's talk about it. So this first article is called The YouTube Marketing Communication Effect on Cognitive, Affective, and Behavioral Attitudes Among Generation Z Consumer. So we have chosen this article, and these the important part are highlighted, like you can see right there. So we have chosen this article because in this article you can see that YouTube has a huge place in young consumers' behavior, and they also like a lot of influencers, and so YouTube have to focus on the influence of these people and the charts concerning their daily views and users. Just to be a little bit precise, the Generation Z is one of the generations that are the more focused right now on the influencers and social medias, and also on what can be expected from the new social medias like TikTok that I'm going to talk just after. And so they might be the best people that we have to focus on for this study. So for our second article, we have decided to talk about discovering undisclosed paid partnership on social media via Aspect Attentive Sponsored Post Learning. So that's our first article. This is an article that talks about precisely Instagram. And we can see in this article that Instagram is considered as the place in which marketing influencers can develop their full potential. So that's one of the articles that is also important, because in this part, we talk about YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. These are the 3 main articles, the 3 main social networks that we have decided to use. And also to talk about Instagram, this is one of the social medias on which influencers have one of the most powerful influence on young consumers, because there are a lot of types of influencers. They can be divided from celebrities to common influencers. What I mean by celebrities is like Cristiano Ronaldo, Kylie Jenner, and all these kind of celebrities that have like to 200 million followers, so they are huge celebrities. They have a big potential of influence, but these are the influence is not the only what could I say, the only main source of revenues. So they can be divided into both, like I said, and the small influencers that are almost 1 million followers and people. These people have like a huge amount of revenues from their influence and their social medias. So let's talk now about promoting mass use on TikTok, descriptive cross-sectional study. So we have decided to take this article because it is about TikTok, and you can see on the page right there that TikTok has almost 800 million users worldwide. So in this user, we can see that almost 50% of the users are aged of from 18 to 24 years old. So that's a small young community, sorry. And also the TikTok consumers can see how impactful the videos made on the network can be. Young consumers can follow the trends, and for example, the trend wear mask that is said in this article is one of the major impacts of TikTok. So why can we talk about this? From COVID-19, the young consumers have seen that TikTok can also be not only a social media, but also a communication platform. And these influencers that can share the wear a mask hashtag can also give some awareness to young people. And we know that these people have a huge community when they are influencers on social medias like TikTok. So this isn't only about making money, it's also about gathering people and getting them into something that they must understand, and also to get them into becoming not only fans but also real followers that follow and give their opinion about everything every day. So when you construct a fan base, like I can say, that is really strong, people can continue to manage their fan base and have better results with their influence. So now we can talk about this article that's called Child Social Media Influencers and Unhealthy Food Product Placement. So this article basically talks about children's parents that can manage the social influence of the children, like I said. You know that like we already talked about this in class. So there is a lot of young YouTubers that are minors. So some of them are age of less than 10 years old. And these young YouTubers earn a lot of money. They aren't able to spend this money or even to try to touch it because they are too young to even consider getting money. And they are managed by their parents, so their parents have also their share on these things that are interesting for them, because when a kid can get like thousand millions of euros each month, a parent have his interest also in these things. So this has to be considered, and this is also important. So now let's talk about the other parts.
For the second part, which is making money from social networks, I found an article called Dropshipping Distribution Model, a Supply Chain Management. In the first page, you can find what dropshipping is. So to remind you what is it, it's basically a method of e-commerce where a store doesn't have a stock. When a customer buys a product on the internet platform, the seller will not go and get the product from his stocks, but will order it directly from the supplier. The article will travel from point A, the supplier, to point B, the customer, and not from point A, the supplier, to point B, the seller stocks, to point C, the customer. In other page, you can see the advantages and disadvantages of dropshipping. So there is no need to acquire physical business. A simple internet platform is enough. No need for packaging to send the product, no inventory management. So it's a memorable time saver. You can work from wherever you want and have a flexible location, and all this advantage makes an attractive business. On the other hand, this business makes it difficult to make margin due to the large number of dropshippers on the market, and the margin of error is even greater since the dropshipper works with many suppliers and he can't control everything since he's not the one who sent the order. So next slide. In other article, I found a very nice explanation of social networks with its definition and how the use of social networks to do advertising marketing is more interesting than the original media like newspaper or TV ads. And this article allowed us to make the introduction to present more in depth the social networks. Another idea found in this article is the explanation of a method that explains the functioning of social networks. And Mr. Kiedzman inserted a new methodology that explains the 7 building blocks of social networks. So it's identity, conversation, sharing, presence, relationships, reputation, and groups. And each platform will have a more important building blocks that will allow it to define itself as such. So for example, YouTube building blocks are reputation, sharing, and presence. In the same article as before, I found a research that was conducted from 325 participants in Croatia about the influence of ads on social networks on their purchase decision. The survey showed that 96% of respondents use social networks, and that Facebook and Instagram are the two most used social networks in the country. And as you can see on graph 6, the probability of purchase after having seen an advertisement on social networks is rather important, since out of 325% people surveyed, 44% will possibly buy the product. And as shown on the graph 7, the probability of buying product from a post on a social network is very important, since 34% of the respondents will probably buy the product, while 28% will probably not buy the product. So thanks to the research in this article, we can see that ads on social networks have a huge influence on the decision making of internet users. And that's why the market is big and full of opportunities for future marketing of companies.
Okay, so I will talk about COVID-19 new ways of consuming. So obviously, we know that the COVID-19
Excuse me,
crisis.
Adrian, can you speak a little louder into your microphone? It's very hard to hear you.
Here, that's better.
Your microphone is quite quiet.
Oh, okay. Just let me 2 minutes. I will just change my microphone because I think it's not functioning well.
While we were waiting, I suggest you presenters, professors, please make sure you talk about your references. If you talk about the references that you have skipped putting on the slides, like this slide, you can still get away with it. Make sure you avoid intellectual property theft. This slide is stealing ideas from somebody else, and several of
Yeah,
the earlier ones also. So at
uh, uh,
least identify the author and the year. If you say it, that's one way to recover.
about it, we just have put the references at the end of the
It's
PowerPoint.
still,
So
it's not proper usage.
yeah, I know, but we just we just forgot. Sorry.
Okay, so do you hear me well now, Professor?
I can't hear very well, and I think your time is almost up anyway. So
What?
It's supposed to be going from 10:30 to 10:45, 15 minutes, and we're at 10:49. It's up to Malik to speak up. I am not going to be going through the time details too closely.
Can we at least just show you the end of our PowerPoint just by skipping the slides?
Like I say, I am not managing your timing. If
Okay.
students want to present, students have to manage your time and evaluations and presentations.
So Adrian, do you want to continue and showing the remaining slides?
Yeah, I will do it quick. Um, so just for to talk, I will speed up. So we will just talk about real fooders on Instagram. So here in this Kakao article, we have seen that in social media nowadays, there are a lot of people that are investing it in just like provide some and promote some food marketing, some food brands and everything to young people, which are really influenceable. Because sometimes these public figures, are just seen as heroes or idols for them, and the young people are identifying themselves to these people. So that brings a lot of power to them, and like the social media power, it can be also shown by these mass effects, which leads to a lot of sales for the brands, and these brands understand really well how powerful they can be if they do good branding and if they contact the good influencers, and how much they can influence the social trends in all the society, because obviously social medias are touching everywhere in the world and everyone, whatever is the age. So next slide, please. So for our research methodologies, so for our researches, the main question that we ask is like how to generate money through a social network, how to build a happiness simply thanks to social networks, what are social networks, the new gold mine for businesses, and what are the new trends in social network with COVID-19. That's the main part of our research. Next slide, please. So for defining and discussion, we have just stated that it was more easy to create a business with social media as soon as there is a lot of website that provide us the materials to just build our own website and start a business. But there are a lot of things that are really dangerous in this kind of businesses. And to conclude, like we can say that there are a lot of possibilities nowadays, as soon as the social media are just expanding more and more than ever with these pandemic times. And by analyzing it and see the trends, we can realize how much money brands and influencers can do on these social medias, and how this consuming society will change our habits, and how COVID-19 has already changed all of it. That's it for me.
Okay. I guess if nobody else is ready to present, I am going to go ahead and start talking about details. If other people do have your activities, I know Malik is properly registered, nobody else is registered. So I'm going to talk about the idea of motivating people from around the world. And one of the things that you can all see in the PPT is the idea of the traditional research shows Maslow and his hierarchy of needs. And if we go through Maslow's hierarchy of needs, some people feel that the self-actualization is the most important. And there's a lot of research showing Maslow's hierarchy of needs, as you can see here, properly referenced. But as you go through, while companies should respect parts of this and manage accordingly, also understand that Maslow's theory does not always follow true. It does not always work because it's just one culture doing one cultural's research ideas. everyone here in class needs to understand that what you are maybe used to, what you may think is proper, may not be internationally applied. For example, Yanis not showing up to class, or other students showing up late, or not sharing details, or not managing your time. Let me repeat, in this international class, you're required to manage yourself and know that we are all equal. Don't be afraid to present if I am teaching, because I am just teaching if other people are not. I'm trying to respect your times. So, with that said, I can go on and talk more about Maslow's hierarchy of needs or Hofstede's details. Um, Malik, I highly suggest you start presenting. Everyone in class should be aware of the Facebook group, which has the evaluations, and inside here, it also has the PPT that I will present if people are not properly signed up. There is a short video explaining Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's promoting proper details. But as we identified with Hofstede, the idea that, for example,
You are mute, Professor.
Sean,
Your other mic is not
You're
good.
muted.
your internet is not so good, so can you check your connection again?
underneath, just like Koreans. As you see here, the idea of Korean culture and French culture for the power distance is quite similar. So let's get back to the details. Again, this class, I should not be presenting now. Malik
Yeah,
should be
yeah.
presenting.
Before
Professor,
you presenting your weekly topic, can Malik share his screen and start?
of course, Malik, you are in trouble. You're running out of time. You are you need to be beaten because you are hurting yourself by just following others. Step up and start managing yourself. Right, Vincent? Everybody is supposed to step up and start managing in order to evaluate people. Malik, you have the ability to share your screen. We're waiting
Okay.
for you. If you don't, I'm going to go back and keep teaching. And
Can you see my slide?
yes, I can. I'd also like to say that Gregoire and Yanis, you have not shared any of your materials, so you are not properly scheduled today. There's a high risk you will be running out of time today. Go ahead.
Domino's marketing strategy, a case of India. I am Fahim Ul Alam Malik from International Business Council, and here you can see my student ID. And advisor is Professor SeanWatts. So before I start, let's talk about my index. So firstly, it's introduction and literature review, research methodology, result, discussion and conclusion, and lastly, the references. So firstly, introduction. So in the year of 1960, Tom Monaghan and Jim Monaghan, two brothers by Dominics, and they started their business. So after a few months later, Jim Monaghan sells his 50% share. So after that, Tom Monaghan carry on his business, and after a few times later, Domino's Pizza Inc. is spread around globally in 85 markets, I mean in countries. So if we talk about India, in 1996, the first Domino's pizza chain opened in Delhi, Noida. So basically, mm, uh, the Jubilant Food Works, who is the franchise church of India, and also in Bangladesh, in Sri Lanka. So it is also one of the largest pizza restaurant in the world with more than 10,894 locations. And here you can see the source from Statista. And the company works in form of large network of franchisee and company owned uh, so many stores. Uh, the uh, the total sales is 16.1 billion globally, and USA alone 8.3 billion, and rest of the other world is 7.8 billion. And here you can see the source. The source are from Domino's websites. And so every firm use their own marketing strategy to gain a better advantage in customer satisfaction and profitably. So India is an unique market with a huge diversity and population. However, tapping Indian market is a big challenges for fast food industry like the Domino's, McDonald's, and others. Some others. So initially, a company uh, like uh, like the McDonald's, Domino's needs to introduce their product to customers. The paper tried to see how Domino's used unique marketing strategies to capture Indian customers. This research paper will use a marketing mix 4 Ps uh, to see what influence customers to buy product and services. So the purpose of this study is identify the unique marketing strategies Domino's Pizza used to capture Indian customers, like how they capture and how they are doing. So how those marketing strategies are different from other nations. I will introduce these things in next slides. So India has several religious faiths, hence the food habits of India are different. Therefore, like the India is more cultural, so they don't like to eat pork or beef. So anyway, to address this issue, Domino's must produce a unique marketing strategy. India also has unique customers, which also needs to address by the Domino's. So the paper will explore how Domino's Pizza use different strategy for Indian than other countries to satisfy customers' demand. Uh, so nextly, the literature review. According to Kotler and Armstrong in 2011, marketing mix, which consists all the important things that the company should do to control the demand of customer needs, preference when looking for the product. Manager must be assured all the balance between the kinds of variable maintained. Here you can see the references. So the concept of marketing mixed has been incorporated in earlier research. They discuss about the culture, like how a culture is important. By using the culture, how you can start a business or you can grow your business. So organization are failed to capture culture difference in between countries may go out of business. Like there are so many well business they are started doing well, but because of they don't focusing on the culture, so mm, they making losses in their business. But Domino's doing very well in these things, uh, according to the third star and survey in 2000. So the research methodology. This research paper review a journal article, corporate websites, business magazines, internet material. Like the 4P, it is one of the important part of 4P. So uh, they target the customer through social media, like newspaper, magazines, etc. So changing eating habits, it is one of the most important part of Indian market. Like you can see that 80% of Indian people, they are more likely to eat, more likely to go out, and 20% they don't like to eat outside. And in the next chart, you can see that 4 to 6 times the people like to eat out, and 2 to 3 times, like the only 10 percentage people they like to go out. So and 14 percentage people they like to eat out 10 to 10 times in a year. So 4P of marketing a product for product. So Domino's provide pizza in different size and offering which a wide varieties of topping, garlic, bread, pasta, chicken wings, dessert, etc. Low pizza, a pizza called is Pizza Manila is targeting lower end customers, and also offer Kima Do Pyada. Actually, this is a Indian line in the so introducing keeping in mind the customers who likes an Indian touching. Like in India, there are so many people like lower caste people. Sorry, the rich people, middle class, lower middle class. So they capture the market through the pricing. Like uh, people can eat which they prefer, and around his budget. Also, there are several kind of product like farmhouse, peppy, paneer, veg extended, pepper, barbecue chicken, chicken sausage, price. As compared to here, you can see the sources from Domino's websites. As compared to the Domino's price is very low. It's offering ranging M size pizza from $2.76 to $7.78, while you will never get in this range in other countries. And here also I get these details from the Domino's websites. So basically the place, most of countries here you can see UK, US, they are focusing on every location in US or UK. But in India, the they Domino's focusing on the good place. I mean the highly populated and the metropolitan cities, because they people are more likely to eat food. To they like to go out, but in rural areas they people they don't like to eat out, so mostly they focusing the urban area. Second, Domino's also select location based on wide geographical location, large number of buyers, and customers can eat at the outlet or can have home delivery by ordering on phone or can order online. So promotion. Mostly, the Domino's they captured the market through the digital. I mean, they are so much. They apply the digitalized and regulation through the they regular advertisement through the newspaper, magazine, televisions, etc. Distribution door to door vouchers, and discount coupons and special customer memberships. Like they also had tied up with Facebook and Twitter according to the Karan is an Indian boy, and the Guram in 2011. So they also more focusing on the Indian culture and festival. Like they gives name every year, like every year of Holi, of Diwali. They also celebrate like the Domino's Diwali, Domino's Holi, Domino's Puja. So just like that. So the lastly the result and conclusion. India. India is more cultural, so all kinds of ingredients allowed, excluding pork or beef. On the other hand, I compared to India, South Korea, and USA. And in South Korea, everything is allowed, including pork or beef, because the South Korean people they like to eat pork, beef, everything. And in case of USA, they also there are a pepperoni pizza, which is a mix of beef or pork. So here we can see the cultural value, and India is a heterogenic society with huge population. There is no specific taste, as all citizen is Indian, for from a different race and background. On the other hand, is in South Korea, no specific taste, as all citizens in South Korea are from different race and background. And around 70 percentage of USA men likes a non-veg, and women are more likely to eat a cheese pizza. So Domino's focus on this thing. So there are veg, non-veg, everything. Uh, Food taste vary from region to region. Spicy, perfect spicy. For example, spicy paneer. Indian people are more likely to eat spicy food. They like spicy, so they're focusing on spicy food, spicy pizza or everything uh, in here. The perfect pizza. Here we can see that bacon, onion, and mushrooms. The South Korean pizza and pepperoni paneer pizza is also a sweet potato pizza, also very famous in South Korea. So sorry. So now, if we talk about the price, in case of price, Indian customers are very price sensitive and price conscious. They they always look forward on value, look for money. So here you will get pizza 2.76 to $7.78, which is one of the cheapest price around the world. In case of if you talk about South Korea, here you will get pizza from $13 to $26.7, and in USA you will get pizza from $7 to $13. So promotion offer may discount coupons customers purchased to TV ads. Hungry hack, yeah, hungry hack. This that means are you hungry? And that's a risto ki time. Like this is the time for the family. So that means so success in social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, mm, and other things. So in other things, in South Korea, they also delivered their food within 30 minutes. If they can't, then they will give 200 won, sorry, 2000 won discount. On the other hand, in USA, join the price to buy rewards program and earn points toward free pizza when you order online, at a store, or by your phone. So please, I also already discussed about that. In India, they focusing on metropolitan cities, but in South Korea, they focus because all the areas are developed in South Korea, maybe. So they focus all the states or locations. In USA, this is also just like South Korea. Next, the conclusion. Domino's is known for their best services in India and around the world. Domino's strategy to customize pizza to Indian taste and employees' behavior, which influences the customer perceptions most about the pizza outlets. Domino's Pizza strategy to provide parking space in one of the factor to be successful, because in India uh, there are if you don't have any parking, then no one will come to your shop, because parking is one of the most important factor. So this is capture. I also studied about it, and I saw this is a good things. So Domino's commitment to home delivery pizza has kept them up to the mark, and the same time kept a good customer loyalty. Significant outgoing investment and advertising result in broad summer awareness in India. So Domino's offering wide range of vegetarian menu in India only. Domino's has a product from lower to higher price range, targeting lower middle class and upper class customers. They have a even they have a large and growing international person that also influence Indian customers to recognize the product easily. The Domino's product ingredient for Indian market have eliminated pork and beef used to religious values, which was one of the successful strongly Domino's made. The general Domino's used to use standard marketing strategy around the world, but when it comes to country like India, where religious and cultural differences are big concern, Domino's used localized marketing strategy to target local customers. So here you can see in the references. So thank you. I'm going to finish my presentation.
Great. Since I don't see other students signed up to present, I will give a short allowance. Is there anybody that would like to present more today to try to get marks? While I pause for a few seconds right now, I encourage every one of you, please step up. Please manage yourselves wisely. I started to show this morning a PPT presentation talking about motivating people from around the world. Most people are aware of world famous Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and they will reference Maslow, but most people may not be aware that he is wrong and he is biased and prejudiced. He is an American, and his research is proven correct for American cultural values, definitely not Korean or even French values. What is interesting is for our class, I will help any one of you as much as you want, but I'm giving you opportunities to manage yourselves. And don't forget, you need to manage your presentation, and you need to also get your marks. Your marks come from your peers. So all of you, especially the groups that presented today, you should be trying very hard to get ideas and comments for how can you get development ideas to be a professional specialist